Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Retrograde Amnesia is a member of the Greenlit Podcast Network, a coalition of creator-owned podcasts focused on video gaming, entertainment, pop culture, and more. Go to greenlitpodcast.com to find out about all the great shows on the network. Also, Eric, we have a Patreon page. You can go there and get bonus content. Did you know about that?
No, what's in there?
Bonus episodes for all the things that we cover.
Perfect work quizzes?
Yes, perfect work quizzes, Terra Enigma miniseries, and more. Go to patreon.com/retroim to find out more. Would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
Yeah.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. In this series, we are covering Chrono Cross. Tonight, we discover that the choices we make in the present will create the future of tomorrow's alternate universe. My name is Chris. I'm joined tonight by Eric. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, good to see you again. Thank you for joining me. We are also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join the conversation at patreon.com/retroam.
We are also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion and sole survivor of the Nostromo.
Initializing FakeNet.
I brought a gun.
Yes, hello. Hi, FakeNet. Thank you for all of your hard work on the podcast. We appreciate you.
You did not have to self-destruct the ship.
No.
Not necessary.
No, was not necessary at all. So, Eric, we're off and running now in this game. The plot has initiated, and
The plot is divided, Chris.
It is divided. We have established our immediate quest of either saving Kid from the Hydra poison or
Not.
letting Glenn use our boat.
Yeah.
We're off and roaming around for a bit, and something I'm starting to notice about this game I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
And I think we've discussed this a bit before, but when characters join the party and you choose not to immediately add them to the active party, they usually just kind of fuck off and go back to what they were doing.
Yes.
They are then awaiting the call of the teleporter.
Yeah, and they tell you where their physical location will be, even though you don't really need to know that.
Yeah. Does this strike you as odd?
It strikes me as a solution for a problem that doesn't really exist. Because usually games don't have continuity. Like this game could have easily, they said, okay, I'm not there. Then they just they like Star Trek teleport or like vaporize. I mean, you have a device on you called a teleport.
Yeah, it feels like they just added that at the last second because they couldn't think of a way to handle this. And it's odd. It's fragmented. It's like, you know, think of the other RPGs of the contemporaries of this time, or even Chrono Trigger. It had the end of time where all the characters would congregate and await you to call them into your main party. In the Suikoden games, there's a large base of operations where whoever you recruit goes back there and pitches in. Or
the Normandy.
Or we have like airships. Yeah. And it makes me sad just to kind of hit the realization that there will be no Yggdraslin in this podcast like there was last time. Because
just checking out everybody.
Yeah, because there's no sense of a community being formed around these people. They're just fucking people.
I never thought about that before, but I really like that community. Like when you rescue people in the Dead Rising games, at least the first two, they all kind of huddle back in this dumb shit area of the mall. Yeah. Right? So it's just, it's a really weird kind of thing.
Yeah, and some games handle this too. Like I was thinking about Xenoblade Chronicles, which I've been playing recently, but there's an implication there that the characters that are not in the active party are traveling along with you. Yeah. And there's this bit, there's always
they can appear in cutscenes.
Yeah. And this is really pronounced in the situation that I'm in now in Chrono Cross. It's just Serge and a couple of randoms who may or may not have any stake in this at all. Like Glenn, he just wanted to borrow my boat, and Guile, he's just like, Guile's the kind of guy who wants when he goes to pull a dum-dum out of the canister, he always picks mystery. He's always looking for the enigma, the next enigma, and they're just hanging out, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of lonely, especially with having a main character that doesn't express anything or talk to us.
I do wish you got some dialogue on, for example, the internal jealousy. Like Korcha in my game is like my boy. He's been everywhere. He shuffled me. He saved people's lives. He introduces the doctor, and I would like to see the dialogue when I'm picking teams to go to the Hydra Marshes, and I'm like, give me the walking scarecrow instead. Yes. And my dog. You with the fishing lure, boy, fuck off. Thank you.
And even like characters like Pashul and Mojo, they work when they're kind of hanging out with everybody else and when there are other characters of substance around them. But in this case, everybody is Mojo and everybody is Postule, except for maybe, Glenn or Korcha, who have some stake in what's going on, but still.
I do really like within your game Matcha and in my game Korcha, whenever they join your team and you're like, I don't want you right now, they literally swim home.
Yeah, it's great.
Like the miles and miles and miles of endurance you need to do that is incredible.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
So this is going to be a very me-centric opening because in my game I had to go to Homeworld and get the Hydra humor to heal Kid.
Yes, thank you.
I didn't heal Chris.
No, don't do that.
Chris didn't do shit.
No.
So there's like an interesting division of quote-unquote gameplay here where I got to play the game more than Chris did. And we're going to look forward to see if that balances itself out. Like if there's sections I don't play later or what, because games are measured by fun per minute, right? And I got more fun per minute here than Chris did.
I guess. Like I said, I was getting lonely, man. I had nothing to do other than just sort of drift. It's like post-college.
Drifter.
Yes.
So the first place I had to go to in order to use the Astral Amulet is
the place where angels lose their way.
I forgot to ask my coworkers about that.
Yeah, me too. Today I thought about, I knew that I had a take-home assignment, but I forgot what it was.
Next time, folks.
Yeah.
So I had to go to Opassa Beach.
Yes.
And use the Astral Amulet.
So is the implication of the angels lost their way at Opassa Beach is because that's where Surge got lost? Because he's the angel? Is Surge the angel?
Maybe. That's where the event,
is Surge the Jesus of this game?
It's a strange place. It's like that one place in Oregon where gravity gets fucked up. It's like a gravity hole. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard of
like
that.
that weird building.
Is that a real thing?
I think it's like a carny. I don't know.
Okay.
Initializing fake net.
The boys are talking about the Oregon Vortex, a roadside tourist trap.
It's weird that you have to go to a physical location to do this, and it's not just a menu option like the teleporter.
Right.
So I get there. Korcha and Greco wonder what we're doing here. So do I, until green smoke starts to emit from the sand. Korcha says, what the hell is this thing? I'm not really used to this supernatural stuff. Me neither, Korcha.
Yeah, thanks, Korcha.
Greco concludes this is the dimensional wormhole that connects the two worlds.
It is interesting that Greco would know that, though.
Yes, like that is generic dialogue, but I would totally expect the Exorcist to know this.
And it also is strange for Korcha to say something about not understanding this thing when this guy can like cast flames out of his hands and stuff. But video game.
So I use the Astral Amulet.
Yes.
Greco and Korcha invert colors and vanish. Surge cuts to CG and does some cool falling through the air shit.
Cool.
The rocket launcher sound effect from Doom is part of this.
Initializing fake net.
Here is the sample from Doom. And here is where Eric is convinced you can hear some of the same sound effect.
Korcha and Greco then phase in on the other side. Korcha says he felt like his body was split in two and that it was a strange feeling. So then we exit Opassa Beach and I'm home.
You're back to home.
You get that original world map music, Home Times Grasslands.
Yes.
Before I go get that Hydra humor, Chris, I want to stop in Arni because I got some shit.
You got to see what's up.
That's right.
All right.
I go to Arni. We hear our home Arni again.
Yes.
I'm doing
it's good to be back.
The Rainbow Shell Optimal Quest.
Oh, cool.
You familiar with this?
You call it optimal, not optional, but is it optimal?
It is optimal.
Okay.
I meant to say optional. Thank you.
It works both ways.
So you know who this involves? This involves our friend Poetry Girl.
Oh, yeah. I remember Poetry Girl.
Yeah. I approach Poetry Girl and I seem to tell her that there is another her who gave up writing poems. This is just what I walk up to her. Like, I imagine Surge's life like this. Like, hey, I went to a different world. Check this shit out, right?
He's like a 6-year-old.
Yes. Yeah, basically. Did you know what I did? just making up bullshit all day long.
Yeah.
She thinks that Surge is joking and never knew he was the romantic type. Is this romantic?
Yeah. I mean, romanticism isn't just romantic love. It's also like adventure and stuff.
Okay.
Adventure and wistfulness.
Errol Flynn type shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She then appears to take Surge seriously, handing him a compilation of all the poems she has ever written.
Yeah.
She signs her name on the cover and hands it to Surge. She thinks this is embarrassing. Surge receives Book of Poems. So then I hightail it real quick back to another world.
So you can just easily switch back and forth.
Yes, I have to go to Opassa Beach. I can't select from a menu. I have to do the whole song and dance the whole time.
I couldn't remember how that worked.
I get back there and I go to this girl there and she says hi. She wonders if we're from Termina and asks how the Viper Festival is going. Surge hands her the Book of Poems. She says she gave them up ages ago. They were stupid dreams and she never had any real talent. She asks how Surge knows about this, ignoring that she told him most of her story yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have to hand her the book.
Yeah.
She notes there is no title and says it looks like a pretty shabby book. She notices a message on the cover, a message from the author. It says, "You will find hope within despair. One who does not experience sorrow cannot appreciate joy. Good luck, me."
Huh. So did you have to solicit the other one to give you this book? Or you just found it?
I just spoke to her again in the other world, and it gave me the option. Like, the dialogue just flowed like that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Like, apparently Surge will just approach people with certain markers and tell them about shit.
Gotcha. Well, it works.
So she gasps and notices it's her handwriting and realizes there is another world where she is pursuing her dream. She thanks Surge, but I can't accept the book.
Yeah.
It wouldn't feel right reading it right now, she says. She says that one day she too will write a book of poems. Quote, so just look forward to it until then, okay? Once my book is finished, I'll give my first copy to you. When the time comes, please place it alongside that one. She thanks Surge and gives him the rainbow shell material. Chris, what would you give your parallel universe self to fuck with yourself?
I would probably give, parallel universe. Like, what point in my life am I doing this?
You never worked at Meijer.
And I'm going back to the person that worked at the grocery store?
Yeah. Well, no, you are that person now. You're going back to the person that never chose to work there.
Oh, okay. I'm giving them
something that has led to your probably copy this podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yes, I was going to give them an SD card full of these podcasts because I assume that I still would have played those games, but maybe never had somebody to make a podcast.
At that point, Xenogears would have been fresh in your brain too.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird because usually if you're 16, 17 years old and you're thinking about yourself as like almost 40, you're probably thinking of, some lame-ass guy,
yes.
Which is true.
Yes, correct.
But also I'm a lame-ass guy with a podcast, so that makes me kind of interesting. Anyway,
Shit.
Yeah. Is that also your answer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think about that before I asked you, but I'm pretty sure that's my answer.
Yeah. It's either that or like a picture of or a video of my offspring being good at Smash Brothers at age 5.
That and then the bill it cost to produce them by 2020.
Ding, ding.
So I have one more thing to do here.
Yeah.
And by here, Eric means back in homeworld Arni.
Leena is babysitting on the pier.
Oh, the original Leena.
OG Leena, the one that likes Surge.
Yeah.
Right? Immediately, I add other world Leena to my party so she can meet Leena.
Yeah.
I walk up. She says, Homeworld Leena says, hey, that girl looks like me. Another world Leena says, ha ha, surprised. Well, there's something real deep behind all this. You should have Surge explain it to you. When it's all over, of course.
Yeah.
Then Homeworld Leena responds with 5 dots and a question mark. Then, if you talk to her again, she says, wow, it just seems so weird. I don't know what's going on, but good luck.
So they're like, I can't resolve this right now.
Yes, another world Leena says, you got it, leave it to me.
Okay.
So Chrono Cross accounted for some paradoxes and then just pulled the ripcord.
Wow.
On all of them.
Huh.
This gets slightly better. Later, I go to Leena's house and speak to her mom or her grandmother or whoever that is.
Home Leena, right?
Yes, Home Leena's house. With another world Leena in my party.
Mm-hmm.
She greets another world Leena, but then immediately recognizes something is way off.
She's like less sad or more happy or something?
There's something else with her. She knows it's not Leena, but concedes that she looks much like her. She wouldn't be surprised if she was Leena's twin. There are so many oddities in this world. Leena responds and says that she is Leena too, but it's hard to explain. Quote, don't fret over it, Grandma. I'm sure Surge will explain it to you one day. So this is all like finger pointing at Surge.
Yeah, they're all like, he's the one who fucked this up, which is actually true because he's the one who died.
Yeah, it's his fault.
And caused all this, so yeah, interesting.
What else? I go outside and the giant fish from days or weeks ago is still twitching.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
And I just noticed you can see Surge's mom in his room from the main Arni outside area.
Oh, cool.
I speak to Mother.
Ah, hello, Mother.
You think that I would tell her about this whole dead in the other world thing?
Yeah.
She says I should get my priorities straight and let Leena know how I feel.
Oh, okay.
And I've got Leena with me.
Isn't that like what she was saying before, pretty much?
It's the exact same dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't tell my mother that I'm dead in this other world and then I've got a Leena that's not Leena.
Yet you tell everybody else.
I picture her, yeah, right? I picture her like watching us leave and then she looks out the window and sees Leena babysitting and just nods her head.
Question, and this is maybe we're kind of plugging our other miniseries, but is Surge, is he
local dumb boy?
Is he Ark? Is he local dumb boy? Is he goofy dumb boy? Is he
like always playing jokes?
Is he a jokester? Yeah, because we don't. I mean, I guess we're supposed to imprint our own impressions of him into the game, and that's why people think silent protagonists work. But that's the read I'm starting to get on Surge here. Like, hey guys, I'm dead, and I've got something to explain to you. It'll make sense later.
And they're just like, oh, you Surge.
Yeah,
he's dead. I bet. What's going to be tomorrow?
Yeah,
find another piece of meat in the ground. That's it. That's all I got in Home Arni.
Okay.
We're going to Hydra Marshes now because I have to get the Hydra humor to cure Kid.
Yes, and the fact that you have to go here is sort of a hint, and also with the Rainbow Shell side quest, is that sort of a hint that like that's how this game is going to be?
There's going to be some back and forth interaction.
Yeah, where one thing doesn't work in one world and you have to go there and correct it in the other world and somehow get the right item.
Like a neat, effective, and early way of maximizing your assets.
Yeah, and I guess I wouldn't say this game doesn't have very many assets, but this game takes place in a small world.
It's a very small place, as far as I remember. So we get there, new music. It's called Hydra Marshes.
Oh, yeah.
There is it's a tribal curiosity with a neat whistle in its third act. When we get here, some guy guarding the front recognizes Surge as Surge. He notes that the village elder told Surge not to come here.
Yeah.
He asks if we have some kind of business here, but then says he won't ask us what kind of business it is. He can tell by the look on Surge's face that it's something important.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because
totally.
Surge can't talk.
Surge didn't look like this 2 days ago or yesterday or whatever the hell he was last year.
Yeah.
This man is sure the three of us, an islander wearing a Speedo and an exorcist and a luchador mask, can handle ourselves.
Yes.
He gives us some parting advice. This swamp is full of poisonous monsters.
Wow.
Back at Viper Manor in another world, there is an enemy there you can farm for poison there for some caps that block poison.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for a half hour. You know how many of those I got?
3.
0.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, great.
Low odds, so I didn't get any of that, but I did buy lots of antidotes before I went here. So here are the enemies. There are green tentacle plants that I thought were enemies, but we're told the dwarves planted them there long ago.
Yeah.
They will bend backwards and form bridges. The dwarf at the bar gave us a tinkler for that shit.
So you have to use that here too.
Yes, it is
later
a way.
on,
It basically creates shortcuts, or you can't get to plot critical points without it. Like if you wanted to come here before, you could go, but you couldn't go to anywhere you needed to be.
Gotcha. Green Tinkler.
Yeah, green tinkler. So the battlefield when you fight here, there's some strange screaming as the battle locks into place. It's like a new sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the middle of a dry land. It's a marsh that's stained with green ooze, but the screeching is vultures.
Ooh.
In later battle screens, we're surrounded by a blue-green haze encircling vultures. So the enemies here.
Yeah.
First one I got is Potpourri. It's a blue and purple Pop-Tart, but in egg form.
Okay. Wow.
When I hit it, it gets bigger. As I smack it, it does Toxic Burst, poisons Greco, and disappears. I get 381 gold for poisoning Greco.
Oh, okay. Well, Greco is all about sacrifice, so it works out.
Yeah. There's also Dally Dwarf, Daggy Dwarf, and Dwarf.
Oh, so the dwarves are enemies?
Mm-hmm. They're the same guy you saw dancing in Guldove. They're wearing barrels for clothes. They have big metal hats, shovels, huge noses, and steel armor.
Wow. That's upsetting.
I beat the shit out of them.
Okay. I expected to hear, because I don't remember this at all, I expected to hear you talk about like how you were interacting with the dwarves, not murdering them.
Yeah, there is conversation with dwarves later, but it always leads to violence.
Wow, okay, not good.
I've got some questions later about sentience with these things too.
Yeah, okay.
2 more enemies. One is a Quaffid. It's those things that ate the goobers in Shadow Forest, the plant dudes with scrotums.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These things use Devour and ate Korcha. Its stomach is actually translucent, or at least parsley. It's actually a neat kind of design. I fought these things for an hour trying to get an Aeroblaster element, and got none.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And lastly, there's Swamp Bug. These guys have blue helicopter flowers that allow them to hover in place, kind of suspending their cross, creepy claw bug bodies. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I make my way through the first screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
A ghost of a fairy materializes and scampers off.
Ghost of a fairy?
Yes.
Okay.
You're not supposed to know who this is, but I know that it's Razzly because she was in my intro.
Oh, your intro party.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
This freezes Surge in place. Korcha tells Surge that he hates standing here in cold, dark places and doesn't want to sit here and roast marshmallows or whatever Surge is doing. Mm-hmm. That was his citation. Are you roasting marshmallows?
Well, what else would you be doing when you're standing around, right? Roasting marshmallows, that's all you can do.
So we can
Got
go
fire elements here.
Mm-hmm. We can go west or north from here. North is plot, west is Razzly. I go west because I'm with that Razzly. Son, you want that Razzly?
Get that Razzly.
Get that Razzly. The west screen strikes a vein of orange land, and we're now high in the sky, like above a green marsh. It's hard to say. You can't tell if it's like focused out or if you're up really high. It's also no longer poison here.
Are you ascending a tree kind of when you go left?
That is what it looks like, but if you look at the pull-out shot of Hydra Marshes from the world map, none of that's visible. It's just these veiny vines.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know what's going on.
Either way, it looks terrific. So
Korcha tells everybody to get down. Something big is headed their way. And a huge dragon flies overhead. Greco can't believe this shit. It is here where I noticed when I edited my notes, the random comment from the third party is always disbelief.
Oh, is it?
For whatever they're commenting on, it's always, I can't believe we're doing this, some variation of that. So we go up one screen and approach a blue oasis. A strange bug creature bobbles out, shakes its staff, then obscures itself from behind the environment. Korcha asks if we just saw that. Then it comes out again, shaking its umbrella staff that has 2 fucking skulls on it.
What?
Then it gleefully charges at the party. It has blue ears, pink hands and feet, and a yellow stomach.
Wow.
Its name is Bubba Beeba.
Bubba Beeba.
Bubba Beeba.
Bubba Beeba.
Bubba Beeba.
Bubba Beeba.
Fake net, let me hear you say that shit.
Yeah. Say it.
Bubba Beeba Bubba Beeba Bubba Beeba 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 Bubba Bubba Bubba. Why do you make me do this?
Thank you.
Thanks.
They say it's no place for humans. Quote, go away. Beeba off. And then we fight it. We get in the battle. It says, leave it to Beeba. Beeba call friend.
Leave it to Beeba?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I didn't even get that. Damn it.
Is that intentional?
I don't know, man. It has to be. Well, was Leave It to Beaver on in Australia? Tough to say.
I don't know.
So then Beeba turns around and swings the staff backwards.
Mm-hmm.
It hits Greco right in the balls. Like he pushes it backwards through his legs and it just hits Greco.
Wow.
So then Beeba calls 3 more friends. There are now 4 Beebas.
Wow. So many Beebas.
You got to beat them, man. The Beebas are hard. This battle took a lot out of me. After the battle, the Beeba apologizes profusely and gives Surge the Beeba Flute, which was handed down to the Beeba family. It's magical. It can call the Wingapede.
The Wingapede.
The Wingapede.
That's that thing I saw flying overhead.
Yeah.
It makes the Wingapede Beeba good Wingapede. Quote, it's best to use in wide open space. So the second I get this thing, best to use in wide open space, Corchus says I should blow it here.
Okay.
I
blow
do.
It.
I blow the Beeba Flute.
And the Wingapede comes?
It makes a whistling noise. The Beeba tinkers back out with his staff, same way he came in. He says, don't blow the flute here. This is the wrong place.
Oh.
I told you, it only works in open spaces. What the fuck, Corcha?
Corcha just wanted you to remember that you can use party items.
That's what I think, because there's no way. I was like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So as we move on, another Beeba is guarding a chest with a bush basher element. I beat the fucking shit out of these Beebas.
Wow.
I'm genociding Beebas.
Do it.
We reach another wide open space, so I blow the flute. So this Wingapede has to come out and help me, right?
Yeah.
No.
No?
The Wingapede flies in and encircles our party. It hisses. It is immediately clear that we're going to fight it.
Is it a brink of death fight?
Yes.
Okay.
Corcha notes how small it is. Greco suggests I feed it something. Surge approaches, offers it something from his pouch. Edge of death place.
Ah, brink of death.
It opens up and it acid gases everyone. Everybody's poisoned. It's hilarious to watch Greco use his wrestling moves to uppercut this thing in its belly.
Yeah, speaking of, what is Greco's level 3 tech or whatever?
Clothesline.
Oh, cool. Yeah, of course it is. Wow, that would always be your first wrestling move, right?
Corch's is much better. It's some kind of like, I forget what it's called, swimming dive or something, but he swims in the air. Like he makes swimming motions and he gets right in the air, then he ninja turtle kicks with his head.
Oh, wow.
And then after he makes contact, he rubs his head like he's getting a CTE injury and then returns back to the battlefield.
Wow. Okay, shout out to Corcha. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't get any anti-poison equipment because I didn't want to farm those things.
Right.
But I'm still just powering through. Everybody's poisoned, but I'm rolling with it.
Yeah.
At some point out of nowhere, the colors invert and it makes its death rattle as it flips over backwards and disappears. Somebody like put in, you know when you kill a bug and they just instantly like crinkle up like a spider or a dragonfly? It does that. So my immediate thought here is, Jesus, did I just kill this thing Beeba gave me a flute to be friends with?
Yes, you
like,
did.
what's going on here? Because there's no other purpose for this thing that I can find.
You didn't get a star level here, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I probably could because the other option can't get you. Because I can't get this, so it has to keep the star levels the same.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Hey, Lassie, what are you doing here? Timmy's in a well. Sequelcast 2 and Friends is a podcast looking at movies in a franchise, one film at a time, like Harry Potter, Hellraiser, and The Hobbit. And sometimes the hosts talk about video games and TV as well. And now it's part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. Oh, Lassie, we don't need to rescue Timmy. He likes the well enough, I guess. Darth Vader is Luke's father. Lassie, I told you to lay off the spoilers.
Need some adventure in your life? What Mad Universe is a podcast about the history of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, where we delve the depths of pop culture history.
Everything's the same politically, but we have ray guns.
The actual motive isn't to explore something that's, quote, scientifically possible or...
But neither is Star Wars, and I know there's arguments about that, but I would definitely consider Star Wars science fiction.
You haven't read Dune!
No, I haven't.
You can never be the Kwisatz Haderach. What Mad Universe on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
So from the guide, it says, quote, P.S. Make sure you're prepared to fight this because running away actually isn't possible. You can only access the menu and then heal if you choose to run away, which is, I think, the first time this game's done that, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know it did
you can
that
reload
ever.
and save, but if you choose to run away, you just get to heal up and shit.
Redo, yeah.
So the ground near where the Wingapede fell has a crack in it. Portia warns Surge it could be unstable.
Mm-hmm.
I try to walk around it, but I fall through anyway, and cartoon drop to a pit of despair filled with a hammerhead plant Metroid Prime boss.
What?
It looks intimidating, but it spins in a circle and then passes out and falls over. This is Pentapus.
Pentapus.
Pent, no, that is vulgar and profane, and I will not be repeating it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There is also Razzly in a cage down here, as well as a treasure chest with a recover all element inside of it. I try to access the cage to free the, quote, encaged fairy.
Yes.
Greco has never seen a fairy before. Cortia acknowledges that we can't leave. That we can't leave her trapped in here and we need to get out. There's text over the screen that says, "Wait right there, my darlings," and it appears on screen. Pentapus comes back to life
Oh,
and asks if we think we can get out of here alive.
it talks?
And with its dinner, too. Yes, it talks, Chris.
Just like the...
A lot of the things that we're beating up talk and have minds.
Okay. So kind of like the Komodo dragon in Surge's room in the other world.
Yeah, but we're in homeworld now. Everything can talk.
Okay.
She notes that it has been a few years since she wrapped her tentacles around a sweet human flesh. And it spells human like the fucking Ferengi say human.
Let me tell you something about humans, nephew.
Yeah.
We'll make a fine main course to go with the delicious fairy appetizer. We should consider it an honor to be dinner guests of Madame Pentapus. Edge of Death plays.
Cool.
Greco can't believe this shit. It's just one battle after another. Cortia notes that this time we're trapped in a hole with no way out. This is a very cool battle arena. The top of it, which is only visible for a second, has this hole, like the hole we fell through, and then there's dust and light particles visibly idling in the light.
It seems like they did a lot with that, right?
Yeah, and it's only on screen for like a second as it pans down the battle and builds.
It makes
all the
me think that
characters.
they rendered those in 3D and they're like, nah, let's use the concept art and turn them into hand drawn.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe.
mean? Like, I mean, I doubt that's the case, but it just makes me think that.
Something like that. Pentapus herself is somewhat translucent. This thing has a blue attack called Wop that picks up Cortia, swings him around, then slams him down on the ground for 60 fucking damage.
Cool.
Very Dora to me, Chris.
Yes. Ah, yeah, good reference.
When it dies, it turns gray, face plants, then disintegrates. After the battle, the fairy thanks us and notes that we were quite strong for being humans. This is Razzly. She is from Water Dragon Isle. Quote, "You can tell from looking at me, but I'm a fairy. I guess you could say it's fairly obvious. Tee-hee-hee-hee."
Okay. This
You like
game's
that?
doing that?
Mm-hmm.
All
We're
right.
there. Fairly
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
Greco has heard rumors about that island. Due to the abnormal weather, all the water there is dried up, but that was in the other world. Greco wonders if that's true here.
Yeah.
Razzly doesn't understand what in the fairy godmother's name Greco is talking about.
What in the fairy godmother's name? It says that?
Mm-hmm.
Greco says that.
No. Razzly can't understand what in the fairy godmother's name.
Oh,
Greco
okay.
is
Okay.
talking
I was like,
about.
oh, gotcha. Okay.
So that is like her god instead of fairy godmother.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
good.
All right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Ding
yeah.
ding.
Mhm.
Serge then explains his life story to Razzly.
Of course he does. In half a second.
Yes, implied.
Yes.
Razzly has seen the Hydra that we need, Chris, but some big noses, capital letters, some big noses caught her and threw her in here as food for Pentapus.
That must be the dwarves.
The Dwarfs, yes. Razzly wants to go home, but it's too far for her to fly. How about taking me along with you? Razzly joined your party.
Oh, God.
Victory
They're-
music.
They're going to keep doing that, aren't they?
Yes, we
All
get a
right.
customized thing. Razzly will be waiting for us by the forest entrance, then flies out of here. Chris,
Low down on the Razzly.
let me get some Razzlies.
All right, let me give you some information on the Razzly. I've already pulled it up here, Eric. Razzly is a forest fairy. Age unknown. Female. Origin Water Dragon Island in the homeworld. Height 3'7". Weight,
Can I guess?
yeah, guess.
56.
56 pounds.
No, 38.
38 pounds.
Yeah, is it?
11 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Build
Build.
3 foot tall, 11 pounds.
They
That
have
is air, man. Do they have skeletons?
Fairies have hollow bones. Confirmed.
yeah.
Got it? All right, that's canon now. Build tiny. Dominant arm unknown. Japanese name Lazuli, which is same thing.
It's a
right?
jewel, right?
Yeah. Innate element green, and the weapon is the rod.
Something unique about Razzly is her fierce attack.
Mm-hmm.
Hits every enemy on the screen.
Yeah, Guile's the same way.
It misses a whole lot, and your skill level doesn't build when that happens, but it's nice when it all connects.
Guile's the same way. Razzly is Magus confirmed. Okay, so Razzly's fortune. Would you like that? Let's go ahead and get that.
Uncharted Razzly's fortune.
Yes, of course. Conflict can occur anywhere. The only way to be rid of conflict is to remove its roots. Nothing will be resolved by just glancing at the surface. That's it.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. Does Razzly have
Are any of these good? Like, I feel like he went hard on Leena at first and like, oh man, there's going to be some sick burns. But
yeah. Well, based on the ones that I pulled for tonight's podcasts, some of them are good.
Okay. All right. So further on, there is a screen where the dwarves are just dancing in the woods. They're having a merry time.
Of course they are. What else do dwarves do other than drink and murder?
Yeah, and dig.
At least in this world.
I have to murder them for their merrymaking, apparently, so I can proceed.
Yes.
Later, we see a group of 3 dancing about. The dwarf chieftain speaks to us and says, "Halt, humans. We cannot permit you to advance any further." Edge of Death plays.
Mm-hmm.
Third boss fight in this dungeon.
Wow, I think you've already had more boss fights than I've had in my entire section.
Mm-hmm. The Dally Dwarf speaks. Quote, "The Hydra is the tutelary deity of this forest, hi-ho. Without it, this forest will die.
Yeah.
Should you wish to advance, you'll have to get by us. Prepare for battle, wicked humans." As soon as the battle starts, they hit you with the hardest move in this game so far.
Oh?
Chris, it is called the hi-ho chorus.
The hi-ho chorus.
The hi-ho chorus.
They say hi-ho and attack everybody.
Great.
They all charge.
Is this better than the catch-up smash or whatever?
I didn't experience that.
Okay.
So in mine, yeah. So it's 6 total dwarfs. They do the hi-ho chorus their first 2 turns, and they kill Razzly every single time.
Wow.
Like, I can't get past these guys. But they can only do hi-ho smash if there are a complete lineup of them. Like, there's 3 dwarfs. There is the Dally Dwarf, the Dagby Dwarf, and the regular dwarf.
Of course.
There's only one regular dwarf. If you kill him, they can't do it. They can do the regular hi-ho attack, but they can't do the group attack.
Okay.
So it became a struggle to kill him as quickly as possible and not miss any of my fucking attacks. Guess what I kept doing?
What?
I kept missing attacks. I did this battle. I lost this battle 10 times.
Wow.
Like, it was hard for me.
Did you have any magma bombs with you?
I think they were... Yeah, if they were green element, that would have been smart, wouldn't it? No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I wasn't... This was when I was still let's say I was letting the game allocate my elements for me before I was actually, making their strengths
Yeah, fair enough.
worthwhile. So after that, I get a star.
Mm-hmm. You got a star?
I got a star.
I think you might be a star ahead of me. I don't think I ever get one in my whole section.
Well, star ahead of Chris. That's what you can call me.
Yeah.
Kortia and Razzly died, so I have to do this whole fucking thing over because when you win and someone's dead, they don't get those stat boosts.
Oh.
Or perhaps they get them later. Either way, I wanted them to be strong, so I did this again.
You're very invested in Kortia being strong.
Yeah, I don't want to because all these characters, there's not many, and I want to make sure the ones that do level up get their shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the dwarves lose, Chris, and they fear they have lost their ability to fight.
Yes.
On the next screen, the dwarf chieftain runs ahead and gets in the water with what appears to be the Hydra. Quote, "You befouler of the forests, human vermin, prepare to receive the anger of nature that you so deserve. Hi-ho.
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 O great Hydra, hear my voice. Turn on these wretched humans. Teach them how the forest, no, our planet, is pained by their existence. Hi-ho, Hydra. Away."
So the Hydra is a god to the dwarves.
I think so.
In the same way that the Guldovians worship the dragon gods, the Hydra.
Mhm.
Well, I guess the Hydra is a dragon. Is a Hydra a dragon? Are you about to see the dragon?
Well, I don't remember, but we'll have a description written down in 2 to 3 lines.
Okay. Damn. I mean, it's only been like a week. All right, Eric, go ahead.
A long week. I haven't slept this week, Chris.
Carry on,
I
Eric.
fucking can't do it anymore, man.
All right.
Edge of Death plays.
Get on some medication.
I probably should. I really need to.
Initializing fake net.
Oh my god. We've heard Edge of Death 3 times already on this episode. Instead, I am going to play Knight of Fire from Xenogears.
Kortia can't believe this shit. Quote, "This sure as hell ain't my world. I can't believe there's a Hydra coming before my eyes. My controller shakes as the Hydra rises out of the water sinkhole." Chris, the Hydra, due to your question 30 seconds earlier,
Yes.
is a large, flat snake thing with gray skin, green spots, and a purple underbelly. It looks mean as hell.
Okay,
it
good.
looks like it wants to kill me.
Okay.
Those antennas on top of its head are going nuts. Its back tentacles have skull faces, and they're making biting motions.
This game has excellent monster design.
They're so good.
One thing I completely forgot about this game is the monster design.
Yeah.
It's terrific. It's like second to none.
So I experienced disbelief next. I can't believe this thing listens to this stupid dwarf.
Good.
I am glad I kicked Razzly out of my party and put my boy Greco in to beat the shit out of this thing.
Eric, if a dwarf prayed to you, would you do the dwarf's bidding?
I'd probably put some clothes on.
Okay, well, that works.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I have forgotten to heal everyone from the last battle, so I have to retreat.
Okay.
When I do this, Kortia notes that Hydra is a subspecies of ancient Dragonians.
Oh, okay. Let's remember that.
As I try to retreat, the goddamn dwarves come back and prevent me from leaving. I reload my save.
So like you had a hard time here.
I did, Chris.
Okay. Well, it's all. It's
Let's say a session usually takes me about, for a recording session, usually takes me 3, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
There's about 15 invested in this one.
Okay, well, you can't ever accuse Eric of not doing it for the people.
I'm bad at time management. I think that's what's happening.
Okay.
We're getting close to the election. I just check Twitter every 5 minutes. I just have to see what's up. I got to see what to get mad at.
Yeah.
If this comes out, we'll know.
I have a solution.
What's that? Just don't have the app anymore? I've
no.
thought about that.
No, just let your phone die.
I got a new phone recently and it just doesn't die.
Oh.
I haven't killed it yet. I fight the Hydra again.
Yes, fight it.
Greco doesn't do shit. I wish he was dead. My wish is fulfilled as Greco dies, and the next hit kills the Hydra. The dwarf chieftain asks what we intend to do with this mother planet. Not thinking of the future, cutting down trees like there's no tomorrow, burning the forest to make your towns even bigger, all for what? Do you think you are the only ones who live on this planet? Do you even know the worlds of life forms other than yourselves, hi-ho?
Hi-ho.
Hi-ho.
Don't you kid yourselves. You are just hairless apes, or worse, hi-ho. You are nothing more than freaks of evolution. Hi-ho! And then he leaves. So I just want to tell him, like, whoa, hey, I'm just here to get this bone to save my friend. He runs away. That was a Screed, Chris. Kato. Come on, man. Like, that was a big anti-environmentalist, you leeching humans, sucking the sap out of the planet.
Yeah. And this game's got a little bit of that.
Yeah. I approach the dead Hydra and Surge receives Hydra humor. The Hydra disappears. On the next screen, Chris, all the dwarves are gone, hi-ho. Korcha says that he can't see a single dwarf anymore. He wonders if they have abandoned this place. Greco says we need to get the hell out of here.
I'm really glad you brought Greco for this because it makes it funny.
It's pretty good.
It makes it funny.
I'm also, just how many times I said it, I'm tempted to just add hi-hos to my sentences the rest of this episode. Hi-ho.
I'll lose it, Eric.
I know, I will too. I was lost what I did back there. So then it auto-transports me to the last screen of this place. Chris, did we just genocide the dwarves of this world or did they leave? Are they all dead now?
No, you've killed them all.
Did the chief hi-ho just go, like, give his death rattle and wander off and pass out in the marsh?
The anti-environmentalism message here is, we hear you, but also in the other world, when there actually was an environmental catastrophe, the dwarves just left and they were able to live. You decided just to kill them all. It's rough out there, man.
I go back to Opassa Beach.
Yes, finally, back to the place where angels lost their way. You return to the place where angels lost their way, no longer an angel, Eric.
There is high probability that we are making the world worse everywhere we go right now in this game. Like, we have solved nothing for anyone yet.
The good thing, though, is that this is not Chrono Trigger, where there are implications. There are implications of what you did in one place, one time period, affects the other one. Whereas here, these are two parallel worlds. So hopefully we can just choose the one that we, didn't fuck up the most.
I use the astral amulet.
It's tough out there. Yeah.
I go to Termina. I get on Korcha's boat and I go back to Guldove.
Yeah. Congrats. Okay. Back to Guldove.
We're in Guldove. The music, another Guldove plays. Hi-ho.
Yes. Hi-ho.
Hi-ho.
Korcha leaves my party.
Oh.
He tells me we need to rush this stuff over to Doc right away, though. So I go back to Doc's clinic. Doc is seated on the nearby bench. Hi-ho. He says, quote, "Oh, it's you dudes. The patient's strength is at its limit. Without the antidote," and then he trails off and hangs his head. I present the Hydra humor, and Doc stands up and shakes his head.
Oh.
Quote, "Can this be Hydra humor, but how? We will discuss that later.
Yeah.
As long as we have this, making an antidote will be easier than catching a wave. We can save the girl with this." End quote. Doc then asks the cat lady to do some prep. Doc again says he has no idea where we found this, or, quote, "who any of you people are," end quote, but we can leave the rest to Doc.
Yeah.
Just imagine this shit, man.
Yeah.
I brought Razzly here, a literal floating fucking fairy. He doesn't say anything.
And you could have brought Mojo here, and he also wouldn't say anything.
It's very Commander Shepard with, what's the Prothean's name?
Javik.
Javik.
Yeah.
Like, people, this ancient race, and this guy is, of course, just rolling with Shepard.
Yes.
So is there no convenient way for characters to acknowledge and explain any of this, or are we just expecting too much from a PS1 game in 2000, or is this just bad?
Wow, Eric. Well, I think it's just bad.
I think it's bad.
Because remember the video game we just got done podcasting about, Xenogears?
Yeah. It accounted for everything?
Yeah.
All the time?
Maybe to a fault point.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
At this point, no.
So then it fades to black. Later that evening, there's new music. We're in the doctor's office.
Oh, new music?
Fragment of Dream 2 plays.
I don't have a contemporary for you.
BakeNet might.
Initializing FakeNet.
This song may also be known as Dream's Creation.
Okay, thanks.
Greco notes that it's almost nighttime as Doc and his assistant walk out into the de facto waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
Doc informs our party that Kid has passed the critical period, and there are no signs of complication from the poison. Quote, "The girl was held up well, but only thanks to you dudes."
Yeah.
He says we have done the impossible by finding the antidote. Doc looks at Surge and recognizes him as the one with the red bandana. He tells Surge Kid wants to speak with him. She won't fall asleep for a little while yet. Quote, "Will you speak with her, dude?"
Dude.
Dude.
Hi-ho.
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 So, I got to speak with Kid.
Yeah.
Surge squats down in front of the stool rather than uses the stool.
Mhm.
Kid turns her head to speak. Kid notes that Surge has become, quote, bloody handsome while she was out of it. Kid heard some details of what's happening from Doc and concludes that Surge is now capable of taking care of himself. Oi, Surge, you did good, mate. Why don't you look cheerful for a change? Kid then implies that she would have been fine without any antidote at all. Then she says, struth, which is the word truth with an S at the front.
Oh, okay.
She says this a lot.
All right.
Kid then says she owes us one. White text outside a dialogue box comes above Kid's head. It says, Surge, thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
What's this extraneous text shit? Where is this coming from? Is this like fate or something like that? Or is this her inner thoughts that we're seeing?
Is it when it's grayed out? You
Yes.
talking about? I think that's
outside of a dialogue box.
I think that's inner thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. The scene then cuts and we're all gathered around Doc in the waiting room.
dude.
I hope. It appears Surge has just told Doc about the whole switching worlds business. Quote, this is far out, man. There really is such a thing, and you dudes are from this other world, I presume. Korcha makes it clear that the only other person from the other world is Surge, while I wish I had Pashul with me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have Razzly with me.
Yeah.
She chimes in to tell Doc she is from the same world as Surge. Korcha says, whoops, my bad, I totally forgot.
Weird. Huh, that's an interesting little concession they made there.
Update, do you
Yes.
remember in our secret Discord where I tell you I forgot to save?
Yeah.
It was here.
Oh,
So I have to play this whole section again. I brought Pashul.
same thing happened?
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
She says, at the same point when Korcha says she's from the same world, she
Yeah.
says,
Ahem. Me wath thurgy-poo too.
Korcha then says, after Razzly does too,
Yeah.
he goes, it is what it is, Doc.
I'm surprised Doc didn't go, I need to go to the fucking bar again.
Why is a dog talking? Pashul responds after that and says,
Pashul. Aim am me treated tho lightly.
Korcha tells Pashul not to worry about the details. Doc starts to think about the logistics and implications of parallel worlds, and Korcha shuts that shit down and tells him not to think about it too hard. Quote, let's drop the theories, Doc. The girl's been saved. That's all we need to know, right?
No, it's not. There's more questions we have to ask here,
This
Doc.
reminds me, you ever see Looper?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where there's a scene in the diner where they try to go over time travel and they both conclude, it works, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to explain it. So, the cat person demi-human assistant comes alive, laughs, and tells Doc that Korcha has a point.
Yeah.
Doc gets out of his chair and says he can't find an answer to this by thinking on his own. He says we should go to sleep. I think Doc's going to the bar.
Yeah, of course.
Quote, 1 day's rest should be enough to get her to be able to hang 10.
Shit. This is part of Doc's like actual unique written dialogue, right?
I think
It's not-
so,
Okay.
yeah.
He's not going to randomly talk about hanging 10 when he's just a party member, right?
Mhm.
I hope not.
Well, I hope so. Then it's the clinic at night again. Kid is sleeping. The music Optimism plays. We last heard this when Salt and Pepper were doing their bullshit.
Oh, the Solaris Eden of Heaven song?
Yes.
Okay.
Mel walks in while Kid is sleeping.
Yeah.
She kneels down next to some furniture or something. Mel then appears to be looking for something. She finds it, then she runs out the door like Naruto. Next day, we're in Guldove. Kid asks Surge what he's going to do now that he's found a way back to his homeworld, and she's healed. He could go back there and live a peaceful life, pretending like nothing has ever happened. Quote, but can you really forget everything you've seen here? And can you live with yourself after you turned your back on us? Surge has a vision of the island he saw at Viper Manor. A nuke with a black mushroom cloud goes off.
Yeah, that's he also saw that at Viper Manor.
I think it's the
as
exact
well.
same CG,
Yeah.
it's a little bit longer this time.
Huh, interesting.
Surge flashes back to the real-time cutscene of Lynx walking toward him. Lynx repeats the Assassin of Time Chrono Trigger reference.
Yeah.
Kid asks, what are you going to do, Surge? You can go back home, or you can say, I won't go back yet. I'm a man of honor, Chris.
Yeah.
I won't go back yet.
Huh, this is interesting too because I was already given this decision
Oh, yeah?
with Matcha. Matcha was like, are you going to go figure this shit out or are you going to go live peacefully? And I chose to go figure this shit out. So I had a motherly figure talk to me and you had Kid. Interesting.
A kid that's suddenly finds Surge handsome.
Yeah, of course.
I gotta go with my heart.
Yeah, go with your heart.
Kid agrees to stick around with us a little longer because of this. Kid doesn't know what happened 10 years ago, but she thinks that, quote, Viper's mob had something to do with it. Also, she wants to, quote, bash up that Lynx character.
Yeah.
And still get the frozen flame. Kid also notes that Lynx stole something precious from her and took away her future. We know what that is yet?
No, we don't. I mean, because obviously Kid has important things because she had the astral amulet that allows you to transfer worlds. So there's a huge implication right there just by the fact that she had that.
Yeah.
That she has important artifacts or has some things that are important. But otherwise, we're not sure though.
Okay.
She has multiple key items.
Plot sequences we can go through shortly.
Yeah.
Kid looks at Korcha and says she heard he helped out. Korcha says, quote, "It was nothing." And Kid replies with something very good. "Well, thanks for nothing then." Ha.
Kid's good.
Korcha implies his job will be over once he takes us back to Termina.
Mm-hmm.
He says he'll discount his 300G, then apologizes for having to make a living. Kid then regrets thanking Korcha. Kid walks over to her trunk to get her things. She notices all the elements she had on her grid are gone. She asks Serge if he took them. Chris, in your case, you took them.
Yeah.
I didn't. Serge shakes his head. Korcha says that only people in here were Doc and the nurse, who are around the next room. We walk in the next room, and Mel is standing on the bed wiping her nose. Mel says, "Hey, Blondie, if you want your stuff back, I challenge you to catch me." Then she Naruto runs out the door.
Oh, so you gotta play tag?
Doc walks over. "What is it, dude?" And asks if Mel is up to something. Korcha apologizes for Mel, then tells Kid he'll get her stuff back later. Kid is receptive and says she won't be a problem. She doesn't have time to play around with brats and wants to go chase after Lynx the hell right now. The dreaded materia thief, Chris.
Yes, I was about to say this is a Yuffie Yuffie.
Yeah, is this a
thing.
trope? Boisterous young girl taking away your key items?
It is now.
Okay. So then, at this point, you have two questions to ask, and if you answer them wrong, you never get Mel in your party in this game.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
The question is, what is it, Serge? And the answers are, you need those elements, or it's nothing. If the latter is picked, then all is lost, and Mel can't be added to the party. Kid asks, I pick, you need those elements. Kid asks Serge to reconsider. Choices are, all right, let's go, or no, let's go after Mel.
Yeah.
I pick no, let's go after Mel.
This is reality.
Let's go. Kid resolves to go after the brat. Doc wonders if curing Kid was the right course of action with all the ruckus she's brought to this clinic, but later concludes that Kid's actions are proof of youth, dude.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
The nurse implies that Mel is worried Korcha will fall for someone else. She's adopted, so she doesn't have the best confidence, you know?
Right.
Mel has a crush on Korcha.
Yes. Mel is, it's a sister.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think you can like your sister, Chris.
Well, we just got done with the Xenoghost podcast, as we mentioned before.
That's
so
a good point.
that was a cousin.
Yeah,
so.
that's not your sister. That's your. Oh yeah, there's that.
Oh
too.
yeah, the mother. Yeah,
I was thinking your mother girlfriend.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get no mother girlfriend stuff in this one because we've done 2 games and both of them had that. So
everybody in town all says the exact same shit. How am I supposed to find Mel?
Yeah,
I find Orla in the barkeep, who tells us that Mel, the little girl, hasn't come here. You know, the bar where fuckers are always getting hammered and a violent dwarf is dancing.
Yes.
Orla asks what Mel did this time, then assumes she wrote graffiti on the walls again. Korcha says it's not a big deal, then Orla turns and covers her mouth to laugh. I go to the shrine next.
Yeah.
The bouncer tells me diarrhea is in prayer and to come back later. I hope.
Of course.
Korcha asks the guy if he's seen Mel around. He says he hasn't seen Mel. And to try the residential tower.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to these places before, none of these things happen. You go to these in sequence.
That sucks.
As we enter the residential tower, Mel emerges from the secret room, sees us, then runs back into the secret room. Korcha formulates a plan where the 3 of us all walk into the different exits in order to catch Mel for sure. He tells everyone standing around out here not to let Mel go outside. He makes the zipline kid block the top exit. We flash to a scene in the bedroom. It's happened. It's over. He calls Mel an idiot. Mel starts crying, and Korcha tells her that's what she gets for messing with his customers.
Cool.
Kid says that's enough. They got all her stuff back and there is no harm done. Korcha resolves to teach Kid some proper manners, or else she might do it again. Kid's like, ease up, dude. Don't worry about such minor stuff. Quote, it's already forgiven. Let's just leave it at that.
Sure.
Kid concludes that Mel has guts if she wants to steal from the radical dreamers.
Yeah.
Mel and Kid talk. And Kid eventually concludes Mel is, quote, going to be real mean when she finally grows up. Mel hates it when Kid calls her littlin'. Korcha fucks off over the docks and says to come find him when we're ready to go. As I approach the docks, Korcha leaves our party. Quote, Korcha left Cha party.
Great, of course.
Then we go back to Termina, where Chris and I meet up in a future sequence.
This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on today, September 16th. Thank you, Mark
Shepard,
for the intro track.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcast. More importantly, tell a friend about the podcast. Spread the word. Or email us, retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. If you like us, please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and more. Till next time, Eric.
Yes, we will deny fate.
And now you may go back to nap. That's horrible, but it's great.
Go back to nap.
Go back to nap.
Please, honey, go back to nap.
Please
Just
do it.
Whenever your son gets up at 2 a.m., go back to nap.
Go back to nap, please. I didn't know you have to do that.
My wife got some special promotion, and they have to like test you to make sure you're not going to fucking die soon.
Oh, gotcha.
Or some shit. And
Okay.
I get in there, and it's like low rent office in New LaGrange Road. Like the secretary is not wearing a mask. They
yeah.
like admit me to the back, and it's a lady nurse, I guess, like filing her nails. She's like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, "Yes, hello." And she has to take blood out of me, and I'm like, "Are you going to put on gloves? Like, what are we doing here?"
Ooh.
And then like she weighed me, and she said, "You weigh about 210 pounds." I'm like, "No, I weigh like 175."
Yeah, there's no way you weigh 210 pounds. I don't weigh 210 pounds.
And then the kicker was when she gave me 3 vials with different measurements on them, and then a beaker, and said, "I need you to go pee in that, and then pour it into those." So I've like pissed in it, and I'm trying to drip, and it's all over my hands, and like my fucking bleeding arm thing came out. I got some blood in one of the vials. It's I think my identity has been stolen.
That's not good, Eric. See, you know, it's easy to be cynical about like the large medical conglomerates like Norton's, but they have like
They have standards.
quality control standards.
They have
'Cause,
like secret people that go in there and make sure you're doing shit right.
Yeah, I recently started going to one of those outfits, and it's a very pleasant experience.
I had a special day last Friday where I wanted to get a pizza for myself. I never order pizza anymore because it makes me feel bad and gets the shits.
Yeah,
But I got a nice one, a 4-corner pizza, a Jets pizza.
Oh yeah, I got a Jets pizza recently.
It's as far as chain pizza goes, it's the best, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I get the Jets pizza and I bring it home, and something happens where I'm opening the cabinet to get my plate, and I knock the Jets pizza out of the box onto me, and then face down on floor.
Oh, did you eat it anyway?
Well, here's it's about 20% on the carpet next to the dishwashing area, and then on the kitchen floor, which is I have 2 cats, lots of hair.
Yeah.
What do you do here? You're really hungry. It's 8:30. You're going to bed in an hour. You've been looking forward to this, let's say all week. What's the move? What do you do?
I think
you're by yourself. No one's going to know.
Put it in the oven for a little bit.
Yeah. That's what everybody at work said, to kill all this stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't take care of the cat hair.
Yeah, that's true.
I washed it in the sink.
Oh,
with the sprayer.
And then
I ate it.
Did you heat it back up?
No, I didn't.
Ugh.
Hey, Chris, are we doing...
Oh, God. give me some more pashules.
Pashul. General Pashul. General Pshoop. Chris.
Yes.
What would you give your parallel universe self to fuck with yourself?
Say that again. You're twisting your face to talk to it.
Oh, I am?
Unconsciously. You're direct. So just say it.
So just say it right at the sheet.
Yeah, say it right at the sheet. Yeah. Who's? Never mind.
Ask a question.
I was going to say who's the president right now, because this won't come out until after the election.
Maybe we won't even know. This episode will be out in December, right? Will it be solved by then, Chris? Will there be a United States, Chris?
Because Eric's seen that show.
I know what the Naruto run is.
Oh yeah, because of the Area 51 raid. Yeah.
That shit was that this year?
Oh God,
that wasn't this year.
No, I think it was like 3 years ago.
Oh
too.
Jesus!
I don't know.
The things you'll have to explain to people. No, they didn't actually raid Area 50. Was fucking internet.
Yeah.